Welcome to this video lecture of transmission, or you can say transportation of water. In 2010, United Nations Assembly passed a bill which says that the human right to water entitles everyone without discrimination to sufficiently safe, acceptable, physically accessible and affordable water for personal and domestic use. Now, if we see 785 million people are without basic drinking water in the world. 2 out of every 5 people, they are not having hand washing facility with soap. 9% of global population still practice open defecation, and it has been assumed that by 2030, 700 million people could be displaced due to the water scarcity. Actually, to overcome all these problems, modern water supply scheme has been formulated. It has been formulated in India also. And the modern water supply scheme consists of collecting water from the source, convey it, or you can say transport it to the treatment plant, and from treatment plant to the city, or you can say to the distributory. Now, for transmission of water from source to the consumer, or you can say from source to the distributory, everywhere the conduit plays a major role. So we require certain type of conduits which can transport this water from the source, or you can say from the treatment plant to the distributory. Now they are of two types. The first one is gravity conduit and second one is pressure conduit. The gravity conduit are further classified as open channel or canals, tunnels, flumes, aqueducts, and the pressure conduit, they can be classified as pipelines, pressure aqueducts, pressure tunnels, etc. Actually, the free flow system, or you can say the gravity conduit, are those in which water flows under the action of gravity, and a free surface is there above that. It means that water surface, the top water surface, is having atmospheric pressure or atmospheric condition which is developed there. In such conduit, the hydraulic gradient line will always coincide with the water surface, and the bed of gravity conduit is provided with a gradual slope. Therefore, these gravity conduit cannot go up and down in the valley or the hill existing as per the topography of the area. It can only go downwards. In valley or in depression, these conduits are to be taken above the natural surface level, which can be supported on the trestles. These gravity conduits, it includes open channel, or you can say canals, tunnels, flumes, aqueducts. There is certain disadvantage and some advantage also for these canals, but they are rarely used to supply water. Why? Because there can be more losses when you are supplying water for drinking purpose due to percolation or due to evaporation. And in canals or in channels, unauthorized use will be increased. If I will talk about the shape, generally the canals are trapezoidal in the shape. It is rectangular also when we have to do some cuttings in the rock. So at those times, it is economical also. Then for the next thing, we can discuss that we can say that canals are open channel which can be constructed by cutting high grounds or by constructing bank on low ground. They are generally constructed in balanced cut and fill and are cheap to build in suitable soils. They can be lined, they can be unlined. It depends on the nature of the ground. But if it becomes compulsory to supply water from canals only due to certain reasons, then in those conditions, the canal has to be lined only. The next method is by using tunnel. Wherever it is not possible to use a pipeline on the surface or provide an open channel, a tunnel is selected. In mountain area, the tunnels are well suited. Actually, they are portion of aqueducts which can be used while crossing a hill or a rock. They are horseshoe in the shape and generally they are built to shorten the route. And if you are constructing the tunnels, it will reduce the cost of aqueduct also. Then we can discuss about flumes. Now, what is flume? Actually, flumes are open channel which are supported on or above the ground and are used when you have to cross the valleys, rivers or depressions. Generally, they are built of concrete or metal. In past, it has been constructed by using wood also. A section may be rectangular or semicircular. And if you are using flume, then the velocity has to be kept in between 1.8 meter per second to 2.4 meter per second. And care has to be taken to stop the overflow which can occur in these flumes. Then we are discussing about aqueduct. Now aqueduct can be grate type also or pressure aqueduct also. Actually, aqueduct is a closed conduit of masonry or RCC built. Or you can say they are covered waterways which are used to carry water from remote sources to the origin or to the distributary. Generally, they are circular or you can say horseshoe in the shape. Now in aqueduct, since the water is not under pressure, so in those conditions, the aqueduct can be constructed by using brick also. But the velocity has to be 0.9 meter per second. When you are using steel lining in the aqueduct, then the velocity can be increased up to 3 meter per second also. Then we can discuss about pressure conduit. Now, what is a pressure conduit? They are those conduit in which water flows under pressure, and this pressure is always above the atmospheric pressure. So the hydraulic gradient line for such a conduit can be obtained by joining the water surface level in the piezometer installed in the conduit at so many points. These conduits can therefore follow the natural ground surface and can be taken up and down on the hills or can take a dip and taken along the valleys. And if you are using this method, then we are reducing the length of the pipe also. So before going to the forces acting on the pressure conduit, I just want to discuss about the disadvantages due to which we had started using the pressure conduit, because gravity flow was cheap, but there are chances that very long transportation section is required whenever we are using the gravity system. And as I had told you earlier, water is lost by percolation or evaporation. The third point is there are chances of pollution from the surface drainage which can mix in the free flow system or gravity system. Especially the land has to be acquired to convey these sections, and the head loss due to friction is considerable in the amount. And the main thing is the construction as well as the maintenance cost of gravity system is always high. Now, the main thing is what are those forces which are acting on the pressure conduit? Because nowadays we are using pressure conduit only. And that too, in pressure conduit, we are using some of the pressure conduit only. That is pressure mains, which is generally circular in section and which follow the profile of ground surface. So when you are using the pressure conduit for modern water supply scheme, so it is required to understand the pressure which can act on it. So if I enlist some of the pressure, then internal pressure of water, including the water hammer pressure, is always act on the pressure conduit. And if you are designing a water supply scheme, then to counteract the internal pressure or to counteract the water hammer pressure, it is required that you use the pipe material which will strong in tension if internal pressure is more. Now, the second pressure is pressure due to external load, because you are always burying the pressure conduit under the ground. In that condition, the load of the backfill or the load of the traffic is always working on that conduit. In that condition, we have to choose the pipe material which is strong in compression. Then the third one is longitudinal temperature stress, which is created on the pipe when it is laid over the ground. When the atmospheric temperature changes, then some stress is created in the pipe. In that condition, if you had laid the pipe above the ground and longitudinal temperature stress is significant, in that condition, you have to provide some expansion joints so that the contraction and expansion of the material will be taken under the expansion joint. The fourth pressure is longitudinal stress, which is created due to the unbalanced pressure at the bend, or you can say at the point where cross section has been changed. And to resist it, you have to firm the pipe by anchoring it to the massive block of concrete or stone masonry. And the next force or the fifth force which can act on the pressure pipe is flexural stress. This flexural stress is produced when the trestles on which pipe has been laid are distant apart. In that condition, you have to put more trestles in between if flexural stress is working on it. So in this video lecture, if you see or if you want to understand that when you have to use which pipe material according to the forces acting on it, and how many type of conduits are available for your use, if you understand, then you can design a water supply scheme in much better way. So in the last or in the summary, if I will discuss about the outcome of this video lecture, then I can say that if you understand the different type of conduits which are available to you and the advantages and disadvantages of each conduit, then during designing you can use the proper pipe by considering the proper forces which are acting on that pipe. Thank you.